For me, pound for pound, number one is Terence Crawford. I like this man. It's a great fighter. It's a terrible, tough boxer. For me, maybe I'm number 17.
Do you know what is common between Crawford and Usyk? Yes, you guessed it right. Skills and IQ. That's why Usyk privately trained with Crawford, helping him to beat Canelo.
A potential fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
How do you see that fight? Who do you
like Terence. It's
Wow.
my friend, but it's crazy man. Listen, I say Terence win. Yes.
What?
Terence win over Canelo.
Yes, Terence win.
Skills and IQ can beat guys like Canelo who hits like a truck. But the thing is, Crawford and Usyk don't stand in front of trucks. They make them miss the exit. Usyk proved it by defeating heavyweight giants like Fury, Joshua, Dubois and many more. At this point, Usyk collecting big men like he's Thanos snapping belts instead of stones.
But listen, Terence is different man. Terence work in две стойка.
Two sides.
Two sides.
Right.
And a switch hitter.
Yes,
He's a switch
yes,
hitter.
yes.
Right and left. But it's very smart man. It's very smart. But feel distance and place like
Adjustments.
Spacing,
Exactly.
boxing.
Crawford and Usyk are the same. They both download you before you even step in the ring. It's like showing up for a fight and realizing you're just buffering on their screen. And let's be real, that's scary. Imagine stepping in thinking you're about to fight. But Bud already got the Wi-Fi password to your soul. Usyk and Crawford? They like professors in the fight game, making dudes with all the power look like they swinging at shadows.
You don't think the weight difference will be a factor too much?
Mario, you're asking him?
That's why I'm asking exactly.
but, Canelo big. Yeah, Canelo too. It's a good boxer. But I say Terence.
Wow.
Canelo might pull up like, I brought the hammer, and Bud's like, cool, I brought the manual on how to dodge hammers. If Canelo thinks raw strength alone wins this, he might end up realizing chess beats checkers every time, and Bud's the type to flip the board just to hit you with a checkmate anyway. And if you still doubt Bud, just rewind to that night against Errol Spence. That wasn't just a win, that was a shutdown. Spence's biggest mistake was thinking forward pressure and a high guard would be enough.
How hard does Spence hit?
He didn't hit that hard.
Well, he never caught you that clean. That was probably the best shot he landed.
No, he caught me a couple of times, but I was surprised at how hard he didn't hit.
He kept coming in straight lines, head right on the tracks, and Crawford treated him like an incoming train, just stepped off, countered, and sent him crashing. Bud's whole strategy was surgical, erase the jab, take away the rhythm, and punish every mistake with sniper shots. 3 knockdowns later, Spence wasn't fighting, he was surviving. And here's the scary part. The same blueprint that broke Spence is what Bud will use on Canelo.
Given that everybody say, oh, he's a big puncher, he's this. I think he's just a volume puncher. I think he just wears opponents down, just wear them down. I don't think, he has a one-punch knockout. He have power, but it's not like, boom, sleep.
Spence had power, pressure, and pedigree. Canelo got the same tools, just bigger. But Bud's IQ don't care about size. He'll make Canelo miss heavy shots, drain his gas tank, then flip those counters like he did Spence, only now against a guy who swings harder and slows down faster. That's why Crawford won that night, and that's why he can beat Canelo too. And don't forget, Derek James was so shook, he went to check Crawford's gloves after the fight, like Bud's timing had to be illegal.
Derek James checks Terence Crawford's gloves to see if they're loaded. He is clearly in disbelief after doubting Terence Crawford's punching power prior to the fight.
Nah, that's just what it looks like when skill embarrasses strength, and if Canelo ain't careful, Bud might just run that same script on him too. And yo, speaking of blueprints, let's slide right into this Teddy Atlas bombshell. because the internet wilding out right now about Canelo bringing in Boots Ennis for sparring. Now, I don't know about you, but that feels like letting a pitbull loose in your backyard when your dog already limping. Teddy straight up said it. You don't bring another world champ in the gym when you prepping for the biggest fight of your career.
When I had a guy in camp to fight for the world title, I'm not bringing another world champion in. I am not bringing another top fighter. I'm not getting into that ego stuff because it gets there. It gets there. I don't care what you say.
That's like showing up to your wedding rehearsal and inviting your ex to dance practice. Makes no sense. And you gotta remember, Canelo ain't a brand new Tesla off the lot. He's more like a classic muscle car with miles on the odometer. You still respect it, still got horsepower, but you don't go flooring it on the Autobahn every day. Boots is too sharp, too young, too hungry. And Teddy hinted what I'm thinking. What happens if Boots starts touching Canelo up in sparring? You're gonna walk into fight week doubting yourself? Nah, that's dangerous. Me, you, we know what this looks like. Iron sharpens iron, sure, but sometimes iron just leaves dents.
So yeah, I would pick spots with Canelo, maybe 1 or 2 days to amp him up, but it would only be spots. It would only be spots with somebody that sharp. But again, his trainer, he knows what he's doing. He knows why he's doing it.
And right after Teddy dropped that wisdom, we slide over to Bryant Jennings, and he kept it too real. He basically said what we all been seeing. Smaller guys can absolutely cook bigger dudes if the skills match up, and Bud Crawford is the poster child for that. Jennings said it plain. He's leaning Crawford, and I respect it. Canelo fight like a bully, Bud fight like a brain surgeon with hands. That's the contrast. Jennings calling it a split decision? I don't know, fam. If Bud starts downloading Canelo like he did Spence, that split decision might turn into a split ego. And I hear Jennings when he says, nobody's getting stopped.
I'm leaning more towards Crawford as time goes on. And I guess it's just him coming from a lower weight. And it, like a lot of times weight don't really matter, you know, because I've seen him smash guys that are just like way bigger than him.
But come on, didn't we just watch Crawford fold Spence like laundry? That wasn't a decision, that was domination. Jennings also pointed out how Bud's mindset and athleticism can carry him, plus how this fight ain't just about power, it's about who keeps their cool under fire. He even mentioned how legacy's on the line for both, and that's real. Neither one trying to look goofy on Netflix with the world watching. But I'll say this, if Bud tags Canelo clean, and that download process hits 100%, Jennings might have to call me back and say, yo, maybe somebody did get stopped after all.
Lower too, but Canelo fight more like a bully in a sense. He's lower too, he's good too, but he just fight more like he fight more with like more strength, overpowering. You know, he has great technique. He's great, but I'm just looking at the athleticism and the will that Crawford always had and always brought.
And after chopping it up with Bryant about Bud and Canelo, we gotta flip the page to what's next, because October 25th in Vegas, we're getting Sebastian Towering Inferno Fundora versus Keith, one-time Thurman, at the MGM Grand. That's height versus hustle, youth versus experience. Fundora's fresh off that savage 7th round finish of Tim Tissue, where he turned a rising star into target practice and showed the world he's more than just tall, he's dangerous. That win stamped him as the WBC super welterweight champ, and now he's stepping into his third defense. Thurman, meanwhile, just iced Brock Jarvis in 3 and is chasing history, trying to become a 2-division world champ. Fundora's the skyscraper with gloves, Thurman's the veteran gunslinger, and when those two collide, somebody's legacy is either leveling up or closing shop.
You want a 12-round fight? Huh? What do you want? Knockout. Huh? 12 rounds? You want a knockout. 6-round fight. You want a 6-round fight? Or you want that Hagler Hearns, baby? You want 2 rounds of madness?
So let's keep it a buck. We just went from Usyk's chess moves, to Bud's demolition of Spence, to Teddy's pitbull warning, to Bryant's cold breakdown, and now to Fundora versus Thurman madness. This is why boxing stays the wildest soap opera on earth. For me, Crawford's skill and IQ make this Canelo fight way closer than the power gap people keep screaming about. And if Bud cooks like he did Spence, we might be watching history flip right in front of us. But that's me. What about you? You riding with Canelo's power or Crawford's brain game? You think Fundora's skyscraper style holds up? Or Thurman finds that vintage one-time shot? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and yo, don't ever forget to like, share and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you in the next one.